Alright, so we need to rip these down, and then we need to cut new styles. Just want it to be 100%. So I actually had to buy 8-inch legs, which looks like this. Let me give you guys a close-up. So I had to buy 8-inch legs like this and cut them down to like this, because all the legs are damaged to the point that I can't repair them. Not without a lathe, and I don't have a lathe in the future. So what we're going to end up doing is just hooking those legs on right there like that, which is a pretty cool design. You know, it's similar. You know, everything else we matched. The molding, which was really nice, but very expensive right now. So what I end up doing is going with accent molding, which I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera. Let me see if I can get this, guys. So where the bottom here matches the bottom here. But the drawers came out beautiful. Let me show you the drawers. And you can see how fine that is. I mean, it came out absolutely beautiful. And we have all new door openers for the drawers. So we took the old ones, and that goes in just like that. It's going to absolutely be beautiful when it gets done. But what I end up doing is the door openers, or the hardware for this desk, when I went to go replace those, I did find the exact same ones, amazingly. The only problem was they wanted $49 each one. So, you know, that's $150. That's $300. That's $350 for just the hardware to open up the drawers. And I end up finding these right here, which was on the middle drawer, I think. Yeah, middle drawer. And this one will go on the top drawer. And these were $21 a piece. So I figured that I'm just going to take the old hardware, and I'll show you what we did with the old hardware. So this was the old hardware, and that turned out absolutely beautiful. By just sanding them down and painting them, it came out gorgeous. So that's how it's going to look right there. Not bad for $11 spray paint can, if I do so say myself. And on the drawer, they look amazing. But the colors just go perfect. So it came out really, really nice. But the bigger ones go on the big drawers. So we are, well, I kind of cheated a little bit. I really wanted to see what the color would look like. And I didn't have another test sample to test the color. So I figured I'll just do one side just to see how the color would project onto the wood. And I have to tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. But now we have to make some new designer plates for the bottom. You know, it's funny what you find in old desks. You know, I guess back then, you know, they used what they had and they didn't have all these fancy machines and stuff. So I just took this piece off of here, and what I find underneath is a little space, excuse me, a little spacer. It's really like, it was just sitting there like, okay, we messed up on the measurement. Let's add a spacer. So that's really cool. So we're gonna get this one off right now. These are very tricky to get off. We don't want to break them, because if I break them, I'll never match them. So we have to take this off with very extra care. And we just have to get this little thing behind, see if we can grip it. I can't even spread it apart, guys. It's really in there. And if I try to pick up, it's gonna snap. I guess what we're gonna have to do is break this block off. All right, there's the spacer that they had, you know. So we're gonna have to get that spacer off as well. All right. Now that we got that off, we are gonna try to separate this. Yep, it happened. All right, it is what it is. At least it broke in a nice even piece that we can fix. Okay, we got it. I don't know if I can reuse these same nails. I will try, but first we need to fix this piece. Like I said, it broke nice and even. So we can fix it with not too much problem. I don't know if that's gonna work to clamp. Okay, we're gonna let that dry for about 20 minutes, then we'll pop that clamp off. All right, so now that we have that off, let's get these nails out. All right, we got that. That'll work. It's very important to get the wood grain to go straight. This is just so when I glue it up, I can match it again. I think I used a little too much glue on that one. All right, now it was definitely on this side. All right, that's where it's got to go. So let's get a clamp on this. Here's where a lot of clamps are going to pay off. All right, here we go. Now what we want to try to do is get all that squeeze out right now. Get it out of there if we can. I'll just take an old putty knife. Because it works the best. To get around all these tight spots. It's okay if you use a putty knife as long as you're going to dry it off real quick. Don't let the glue stay on the putty knife. Alright, there we go. She's pretty much, oh, the glue is out. Alright, let's get a chisel. Now there was a spacer on it before, but we're not going to need that spacer anymore. But we do want to get all this extra stuff off of this. Alright, now we can get to these legs. Mostly all this sanding was done by hand. Some of the, I guess old stain or something is really in this. So we just scrape it out with a chisel a little bit, not too much. And then we sand the bottom so we can put the oil on it to give the wood moisture, because it's very dry. Now I'm taking this old wood off, or should I say the old veneer, and then I will cut some new veneer to put back on this once the wood has time to soak up the oils, because she is very bone desert dry. Seems like this wants to come off. Alright, so what we need to do now is we need to route out the new front panel. So we're going to get the router and we're going to start doing this. So that's where we need it. Let's slow down the speed to like 3. Alrighty then. Looks pretty good to me. Little mistakes. I don't know if you guys can see that. Little mistakes on the bottom right here. That's because it hit a notch, but we can fix that. Alright, so let's get the next one done, which is going to be this bad boy. So many clamps. Alright, so we don't have that mistake again. I think what I'm going to do when I get over to that area, I'm going to stop and I'll do it by hand. I think what we're also going to do is trim this down a little bit. That way we don't have so much to cut with the router. Alright, there we go. We got around that glitch. We have a little tear out, but no big deal. Nothing that can't be fixed. Now that little indent that we saw, if we sand in a circular motion around the original, we should be able to get that indent out. Now, I'm going to leave this black tone underneath because I really do like it. And there we have it. Nice, nice, nice. So I like to keep a different variety of sandpaper when I'm doing a project, so I don't have to run back and forth and keep grabbing different grid sandpaper. So I just keep about 5 of each that I'm going to be using, so that I can just run back and grab it. They definitely don't match. Alright, so the next one we need to do, it's going to be the hardest one. And that's going to be this guy. So many clamps. But I still don't have enough clamps. I still need another like 40 or 50 clamps. Okay, that went off without a hitch. I don't know if you guys can see this, but now this, I don't know why it won't fall. There we go. So the lines that's in that wood is just beautiful. I really, really like it. That's going to go right like this. Alright, so that's how that goes. Alright. But we need to add a stopper in the back. So, I never throw out my scraps. I always keep a scrap in handy. And that'll do it right there. That'll be the stopper for the back, so that we can get that 100%.